A man who knows the Knicks very well. Stephen A. Smith joins us on SportsCenter. Stephen A., I know you know the Knicks. I know you also know fashion. So let me get your opinion on the Knicks' little fashion statement without making a statement that mattered the most, and that's on the basketball court.
Well, it was so incredibly idiotic. I mean, the fact that you're going to sit there and advertise that you're going to wear all black because you're about to send the Boston Celtics to a funeral or conduct a funeral. And think about who you're talking about here. You're talking about a champion in Kevin Garnett who needs no excuse to be motivated. You're talking about a future Hall of Famer in Paul Pierce, nicknamed The Truth, who needs no extra excuse to be motivated. We know that Jason Terry, also a champion, doesn't need to be motivated. And of course, the greatness of Doc Rivers, the exceptional coach that he is, and the high motivator that he is, the elite motivator that he is. This is the team you're going to talk about that way? And by the way, who are you to talk? The New York Knicks haven't won a championship in 40 years. They just won the Atlantic Division for the first time since 1994. They haven't been out of the first round since the year 2000. And you're talking smack before finishing the deal? They embarrassed themselves, not just with their play last night, but with their behavior leading up to the game. It's inexplicable. I have no explanation for it. It makes no sense whatsoever, but it's got them in a hole right now that they're going to have to dig themselves out of because the pressure clearly has shifted to the New York Knicks. Because if they don't win Game 6, they've got to come back to New York for Game 7 and be on the cusp of being the first team in NBA history to surrender a 3-0 lead in the playoffs. That's an epic collapse of astronomical proportions. This is bad, man. It's bad.
So I'm hearing you well here, but is there more blame on the Knicks that this series isn't over, or are you giving more credit to the Boston Celtics for showing the heart of a champion and coming out and fighting?
Well, you can never take credit away from a team with the heart of a champion because they could bow out. We saw that with the Los Angeles Lakers without Kobe Bryant. What did they do? We saw that with Dwight Howard, who got himself ejected in the third quarter because they were down by 20, and he was down 3 games to nothing in the series and on the verge of being swept. We saw Tim Duncan sitting on a scorer's table and literally laughing at Dwight Howard. You don't see that from the Boston Celtics. Why? Because you know they're coming. You know they're going to fight. Even when they're falling, they're going to fall swinging. That's the Boston Celtics. So you always got to give them credit. But you can't absolve the New York Knicks from any blame. And you can't do that because of their behavior leading into this. Then you have Carmelo Anthony. He's their star. 10 for 35 shooting in Game 4. 8 for 24 shooting in Game 5. That is a combined 18 of 59 shooting from the field. J.R. Smith, I give him a lot of credit because he manned up after the game and said, we thought we were going to conduct a funeral, but we were the ones who ended up getting buried. He said this after he shot 3 of 14, missing his first 10 shots in the game. Give him credit for manning up. But in the end, the New York Knicks have talked the talk. They have yet to walk the walk. And as a result of that, they find themselves in an incredibly precarious situation, particularly if you're Carmelo Anthony in his 10th playoff series, in 10th playoff appearance, in all 10 years in the league. His first 9 years, he got bounced out in the first round. If he gets bounced out in the first round again, it's bad enough it'll be 9 times in 10 years. But to have it be after you led 3-0 and to be a part of an epic collapse, I don't know if his reputation will ever recover if the New York Knicks lose this series.